Jeannie's RV Adventure.
Wait, what?
Oh, sorry. And Eric's. Well, we're saying goodbye to Vegas and heading up to the Great Basin National Park. This is beginning week 9 of living on the road. And pretty much it's a place that is in the middle of nowhere. So we will be on the road to nowhere. So the Great Basin National Park is right outside the town of Baker, Nevada, which people often get confused with Baker, California, which is nowhere near the same place. We stayed at the Stargazer Inn RV park, which is basically a gravel parking lot behind the only gas station in town. But it had full hookups, and the people were really nice, and you really don't have a lot of choices of where to stay there. We've gotten into the habit of starting off our first day and just getting the lay of the land. We go into the park and go to the visitor center, and we'll do the scenic drive and figure out what things look interesting and take in all the views and just learn a little bit about the park. The Great Basin is called the Great Basin because all the water there stays there. It doesn't run out to any rivers or tributaries that go out to the ocean. So that's why it's called a basin, the Great Basin. So that was kind of interesting. Very beautiful overlooks, lots of hiking trails to pick from, and lots of water in all the little creeks and streams, which is nice. For me, water makes a big difference. So we also took a drive outside of the park to check out one of the hikes that we were interested in doing, which is the Lexington Arch, and you have to cross into the Nevada, out of the Nevada state line into Utah, and then when you're on the Jeep trail getting back to the trailhead, you cross back into Nevada. So it was kind of cool. Beautiful country out there, and we did see some wildlife, which was nice because it's been kind of few and far between so far. As you know by now, I'm not a wildlife photographer, but here's a picture of the elk that we saw and some of the rock formations on the way back to the trailhead for the Lexington Arch Trail. And as you know, we're house hunting, so this is another one we found. It's not much to look at, but it's got a beautiful backyard. And the Great Basin is one of the least visited national parks, and we could definitely tell that. Pretty much anywhere we went, there was nobody around. We didn't see anybody on the roads to quite a few of the trailheads, and the Lexington Arch Trail was no different. It was beautiful and quiet, and the landscaping ever changing. And so we put this on our list, and we'll come back later this week and do this trail. And the next day, we went back to the Great Basin National Park, and we were fortunate enough to be able to get tickets for the Lehman Cave tours, which you have to get in advance. They might have some of them open when you get there, but it's a hit or miss. So if you get on the recreation.gov website and get tickets before you go, if you're interested, it was very nice. It's small. The caves are a lot smaller than, say, like the Carlsbad caverns, but beautiful nonetheless, and it was a good time. We enjoyed it. And for some reason, we didn't think about grocery shopping when we were in Vegas before we left. So we had to take a day and go to a grocery store. And the closest grocery store was over in Ely. I kept calling it Eli, but it's called Ely, and it's about an hour away. I guess their claim to fame is they have a maximum state prison, the maximum state prison for Nevada there. But it was a cute little town, and the grocery store was wonderful. And we ate at a great little Mexican restaurant, La Fiesta. So if you're ever in Ely, stop by and try that. And now that we were all stocked back up, the next day we headed back to the Lexington Arch to do that hike. And it was beautiful. And we took the dogs on this one, which was kind of hilarious. I mean, Bentley's really good about riding in his pouch. He prefers it. But Dixie was just a hot mess. She didn't want to walk, but then she didn't want to stay in her pouch. But she's just so dang cute. What can you do? But I have to let you know this hike almost did me in. It was only less than 3 miles one way. It was beautiful. Glad we did it, but I didn't take into account the 1,300 plus foot change in elevation, and I guess it really got to me. So I had a hard time getting back to the Jeep, but after we got back to the RV and I had a couple Pedia Pops and a nap, I was good to go. And it was beautiful and worth it, and I'll get better. And then over the next few days, we just went back to all the places that we had seen on our scenic tour and did all the little hikes. And it was gorgeous. It was so quiet and really empty, as I mentioned before. And all the creeks had water in them, and it was just beautiful and serene. There was all different kinds of hikes, little short ones and easy ones and more strenuous ones. You could hike to the glacier. They have a big glacier where the glacier used to be. We didn't do that one. They have petroglyph clay caves that we went to, and it was just lovely. There's something for everybody. This The Great Basin is one of the places that has the largest orchard of these bristlecone trees, which are ancient. They're older than the redwoods from what I've seen and what we were able to learn, and they're very unique looking, and it was really interesting, really pretty, beautiful. The park is very well done, even though the infrastructure is pretty small. But yeah, it was a lovely time. They even have big, great, beautiful lakes that you can hike around, and people were going into. They were very cold, and picnic by. So it was just lovely. And now it was time to say goodbye to Great Basin National Park, and we're on our way to Zion. So we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for joining us.